This is Talk with Thariya. Our special guest today is a media advertiser guru, a well-known personality in the advertising and media industry in Sri Lanka. He joined Mindshare in 2006 as a management trainee, and then he joined Mindshare Mumbai in year 2010. And currently, he's heading the strategy direction of an international advertising firm. He's a fluent speaker in Hindi and an avid reader, plus a Hindi movie fanatic. So he's none other than Mr. Dias, Isuru Dias. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get started. You did your bachelor's in management and IT, and but you have chosen advertising. Any reason for that? How did it start?
Okay, so actually, what happened was I kind of landed up in IT. So basically, I think when I finished my A levels and stuff like that, I was looking for my higher education, and the only local university course from University of California, which I got selected, turned out to be management and IT, where majority of the components were in IT.
Okay.
But I obviously realized after starting IT that IT was not about MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and presentations and stuff like that. It was all hard work, which went a lot with regards to database management, programming languages, and stuff like that.
Wow.
So fortunately, that was not really my thing. But by the time that I realized it, I was a little bit too late.
Okay.
But so somewhere in the middle, when I was doing my marketing management
Mm-hmm.
of the management of it,
Okay.
I realized that I was very interested in this thing called advertising. And I actually got selected to do my specialist degree, which runs for 4 years. But by the third year, I realized that I just couldn't finish it. So I wanted to complete it with my general degree and just go out of the university. And at that point of time, I think I went to an IT cafe because it was not really the time where you had a lot of IT facilities at home. So I
Okay.
went to apply for an internship at Mars, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
And when I was going out, the Mars advertisement was on the Sunday Observer, and the Sunday Observer newspaper fell down
Mm-hmm.
from my lap, and another page
So
came out where
sorry, I didn't get you. Fell down in the sense.
so the newspaper was on my lap,
Ah.
and I
All
was
right.
sitting
Okay. Okay. Okay.
at the IT cafe,
Okay.
and it fell down. And another page came out where it said that they were looking for management trainees at this place called Mindshare. Now I
Okay.
didn't know what Mindshare was, but in the corner it said that Mindshare is a unit of JWT.
All right.
So
So
I knew
this was in 2006.
yes.
Okay. All right.
And then just it was just a matter of forwarding the same CV which I sent to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And after about a week's time, I got a call from this with this very lovely female voice asking, we are calling from Mindshare,
Okay.
and would you like an interview? I think
All right.
something which I very specifically remember is that when I asked the lady, where exactly is this office,
Okay.
the first question that she asked is, "Hey, do you know where Premadasa was killed?" I was like, "Oh, yes, I can find out." So we are very close to that. That was the
Okay.
landmark I was given. And finally, I think I went there and I went for the first interview and I went in for the second interview. At the end of the second interview, I was asked the question, so when you could join?
Okay.
And I was, just to show my enthusiasm, I just told the lady, who is Nilakshi Ariratna, by the way,
All right.
and the gent who was next to him, I just said that, even if you want me to join from tomorrow, I can come.
Okay.
And then he asked me to wait for about, 5-10 minutes, and he came down and said, you can come from tomorrow, no, so come. So that's started.
Okay. All right. So basically, what like you actually that was a very interesting story. You were reading the newspaper, right? Like, and you
Correct.
came up with this advertising this thing. So before that, have you had any idea whatsoever that you want to go to advertising, or like any?
I
Oh, all right.
definitely had. So I was always interested in, um, the, a couple of weird things, about, how these commercials are being shot, who's putting them on air, who
Ah,
gets these
okay.
ideas. And also when it comes to television, something which I always used to wonder is, you have these finales of these famous reality shows, right? Which are live
Yes.
telecasts,
Correct,
and there's a
correct.
commercial break. What exactly does people do during the commercial break during these live finales? So I think those were like, I was very inquisitive about media as a
Okay.
whole.
All right. So, like in 2010, you were actually getting selected to this Mumbai branch of Mindshare, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So, how was the experience like in Mumbai? I know that it's basically it's very similar
So,
in terms of the countries, very similar, but the working culture must have actually made a difference in you.
okay, so the experience has been that, just like everything in my life, I think it just fell into my lap. I never planned for it.
Okay.
Actually, what initially happened was I was sent in for a 2-month training
Mm-hmm.
by my. So it was initiated by my boss, Pat Vinayak. Actually, her actual name is Pratibha Vinayak. She is, like veteran in the Indian media industry.
Okay.
And after that, after the initial 2 months of spending time in Mumbai, I think that was in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
They got to know me, and they obviously were very fascinated about the fascination that I had about Bollywood, the fact that I spoke Hindi and all that stuff.
All
So
right.
I think in December 2009, there is this routine pitch process which Unilever does
Mm.
for their account. I think at that time there was a request for the South Asian region to have someone to communicate in between markets, like that's between India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and
Mm.
Bangladesh, to
Okay.
see what kind of good work is being done, to kind of share the practices, share the experiences, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So given, and also they a non-Indian, obviously, India and Pakistan doesn't see eye to eye. So a non-Indian being there, it makes it easier for India and Pakistan to communicate together.
Yeah.
So given that they already knew me, and I think I report to a wonderful gentleman called Ravi Rao.
Okay.
So they kind of requested the Sri Lankan team whether I could be released to join that post,
Mm.
and I should always be grateful for my bosses at that time, who was Nigel Balakrishnan and Prasanga Jayatunga,
Mm.
for letting me go and take that opportunity, even though I was, kind of making things uncomfortable in Sri Lanka, because they had to find a replacement and all that stuff.
Mm.
And also, I want to thank my wonderful client Rohit Hettiarachchi, who actually pushed me to take that opportunity.
Opportunity. All right. So, how did you learn to speak in Hindi, man? Just how did you learn it?
It was okay. I have been
Did you meet
watching
Shah Rukh
Indian
Khan?
movies. I actually, yes, I did.
Oh
I
man.
just remember.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about it.
Uh, that it was a total, disaster. What he looks on the screen and what he looks in real life. He's
Oh.
like, it's, I can't say class apart, but it's like, I just don't have words for it. I
It's
actually
like the
saw him when I
version
went to
version
see
with the
Madhuri
makeup.
Dixit.
Yeah. It's like the
Sorry.
version. It's like the version with makeup and without makeup. So you
Eh,
you you see the clear difference.
Exactly. So actually, how it happened was, so I think the Mindsha Mumbai office is very close to this film studio called Filmistan, and
Hmm.
Madhuri Dixit was shooting for the Indian version of Dancing with Stars. So she
Okay.
was the judge.
All right.
So obviously, given the fascination that I had with Bollywood, the people at Mindsha Mumbai made sure that I went and saw the shoot. So
Okay.
I think they are in the middle of the shoot. Then I someone saying that this there's a visitor to see they call her Madhuri Ji, right? So
Huh.
there's the visitors to see Madhuri Ji, and that visitor turned out to be Shah Rukh Khan. So that's how I saw it.
All right. Okay. So you're a lucky man.
I know.
Okay.
Actually,
So
one contestant of that show was Sushant Singh Rajput, who unfortunately passed.
tell me something in Hindi, like whatever you want to take.
Uh, आज आप मुझे इस interview case no, that just doesn't sound right. It's what should I say? ये मैं जल्दी खत्म करना चाहता हूँ. That's it. You don't
I
need to
understood it.
understand.
I understood it. You want to finish this off very
Okay.
quickly.
Yes.
Okay, that was a good one. So when it comes to media buying, so you are into that category, as in like in industry. So what is media buying like for anyone who doesn't understand what media buying is, and what sort of an impact that it actually has and makes to advertising and branding, how important it is?
Uh, Personally, I feel that media buying it's just all about getting your message across. It's as simple as that. That's the simplest form where you actually can say what we are doing. But of course, it involves so much of numbers, so much of quantitative and qualitative parameters, so much of other nitty-gritties to it. But I think in the heart of it, it's about getting your message across. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so for that actually, as media people, what
I don't know whether I made it too simple, but that's
no,
that's kind of.
that's a very good way of actually giving the answer, because everybody understands. So basically, it's all about getting across the message that you want. Okay. So you joined Mindshare as an intern and then became regional coordinator.
Yeah.
Sorry, regional coordination manager. I'm sorry. And then now a head of strategy in an international advertising agency. What's the journey like, man? Like how did you actually excel?
Uh, okay, so to be very frank, I think as a person, I have never planned, like a career progression, right?
Okay.
Like
Mm,
after this, I'm going to do that. After this, I'm going to do this and stuff
mm,
like that.
mm.
So I just have taken the opportunities which were thrown at me. I have given up some. I have taken some, and that's how I, landed up where I am today.
Mm.
And I think it was with the kind of emotional maturity that I have uh, gained, and also the kind of people that I worked with, and also the
That's
kind
really
of
important.
teams that I headed. I think it's a combination of all those four factors is, yeah, where I have ended. I'm very proud to say that wherever that I have worked, I have created families. I actually didn't have teams,
That's
so
really cool.
there is
That's
something
really good. Yeah.
I'm really proud of in my career.
Mm, mm. So basically, what you are telling is that you never planned, like you want to go into the next position in next year. You never planned, but what you did was actually you did whatever the things that you get during the day, and then you just get through it. And unknowingly, you have come to this position, and you are really proud of it. So that's a very good message to our viewers. It's like planning, to me actually personally, it's a 50-50 thing, and it's a time wasting thing sometimes, because you plan, and then you never achieve anything. But as opposed to that, with what you have just told me, it's like you never plan and achieve everything. That's a pretty good way of looking at it, man.
I don't think I have achieved everything, but whatever that would have come my way has definitely come my way, and I
Yeah,
think, and obviously there are so many opportunities which I kind of never took as well. I mean, there are certain things which obviously I can't say in a public forum in terms of the offers and the temptations
mm,
and the kind of offers. I mean, okay, I can be candid about it. There is one offer where I was offered this like skyrocketing salary, which I don't think I'm still earning. But the kind of job that I had to do was not something which I was really comfortable about. So I think after thinking about it, I kind of gave it up. So there has been those moments as well,
Okay. So during this journey,
because
actually,
I definitely know if I yeah, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so because I actually know if I would have taken that opportunity in terms of career, I might have been at a different place. But I sleep well at night. That's the most important.
That's why you wanted to actually finish this off very quickly, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. I go to sleep at 10 o'clock FYI, and it's 9:55.
Okay. So throughout this journey, uh, I wouldn't say that it's a bed of roses. Actually, you must have faced a lot of hardships, constraints, and if you could actually share, like some turning points and hardships that you have actually faced during this journey and how you have actually overcome it, to a person who's actually watching this, uh, to a person who wants to get inspired, that would be really helpful.
Uh, yeah, I think one of the this is again, one learning from India. There are two things which I want to speak on.
Hmm,
One is about when I was in India, it was really difficult for me to to get used to the fact that that I can't go home. Like
hmm, hmm.
I- in Sri Lanka, whatever happens, whenever happens, you would always go to someone at home. There is this place you call home,
Correct.
and I took a good 6 months to kind of get used to the fact, and also to start enjoying the fact that I things were not in control, but still to learn to enjoy the difference, how unique it was, and the opportunity that I have been given and stuff like that. I think at that time I still remember there is this very humble and a very senior lady which I know. Her name is Varsha Pereira. She's working at a international beverages company now in
Hmm.
Hong Kong, I think.
Okay.
I think she wrote to me saying that because she was working in Myanmar, and the issues that she went through, and how she overcome that, and also to look for what is to look for what is unique rather than look for what is not there. And I
Hmm.
think now looking back at it, was a real good opportunity, because I now enjoy my own company. So I think there is one issue which I overcame when I was in India. That is one. And
Okay.
second one, I think a lot of people in the industry also know, I went through a phase of severe depression, which actually was to a certain extent clinically induced, because I had a imbalance in my thyroid.
Okay.
So given that we had quite a stressful job, I had to take one day at a time.
All right.
But I somehow could manage the work. So it is like a mix of therapy, medication,
Hmm.
and also to a certain extent the support that I had from my bosses, from the teams or the families, as I call them.
Correct.
I think I have been able to handle that. And also something very specifically which I want to say about that is, like, if you have an issue, obviously don't make it a burden, but also make sure that you speak out about it, that
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
have this uh, problem, or you have this issue. So it's better to speak about it and let other people know that what you're going through. There's nothing to be ashamed about it. So I
Correct.
think that's basically how I
So basically, what you're saying is
overcame
like, yeah,
those issues, if I say so.
yeah. So basically, what you're saying is you're saying that um, in terms of a concern or in terms of let's say that it's a hardship. So basically, you are saying that see, try to see something unique in that, and not
Correct.
actually, go with the flow, saying that it's a hardship. No, you just see something unique there and try to, basically go towards that and cultivate that nature in you. So then you will actually get through that. And the other thing is, more importantly, whatever the problem that you have to speak to someone. You need to speak to
Correct.
someone. Otherwise, actually,
Yeah.
there are problems that you really cannot solve by yourself. you need to actually, get third party ideas as well. So you're spot on there.
Exactly.
So I think it's a learning for me as well. Back to advertising in Sri Lanka, how do you really see it? Like you actually joined Mindshine year 2006 as an intern, and right now you are heading the strategy of an international advertising firm, and you must have actually seen the evolvement of advertising industry for like more than 11 years. So how do you see it? Has it like evolved, or is it in the same place? So what do you think? Put some perspective into that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, when we tend to have spent quite a significant amount of time, significant number of years in an industry, or all of us start getting this, what I call the nostalgia syndrome, like,
Yeah.
when we started out, things were not like this and stuff like that. But I definitely feel that, as an addressing industry, we definitely have evolved, like it has evolved to an extent, especially, media planning, buying, the whole communication planning process used to be, that, if you have a half an hour presentation for the creatives, it used to be those last 2 minutes where you just say, these are the programs that we are going to be present. I think from there, we have definitely come
Mm.
a long way, thanks to our consumer who is getting evolved and who's getting more complex. So, and I think the best example is 15 years back when I started out in the industry. I don't think we would have ever thought that, industry would have this designation called, like a head of media strategy. So
Mm, mm,
that
mm.
definitely shows how much the industry has evolved.
Yeah.
Yes, but on the other hand, I do feel that the youngsters today might not really have uh, the same opportunities and the exposure that we used to have, like the award ceremonies and, going out for trainings and stuff like that. That I think is kind of, I do
Mm,
feel that it's kind of limited to
mm,
the current young a lot. Like,
mm,
the series chilies are not happening anymore. You don't tend to see a lot of people getting to having, getting the opportunity of going out for spikes and stuff like that. Even,
mm,
like
mm.
these internships and trainings and stuff like that. I do feel that there is some kind of a lacking in that department.
Mm.
But definitely, I'm very happy with the way that advertising has evolved. I think maybe in the times to come, we would have clients getting a little bit more edgier, more risk taking, and, willing to experiment and stuff like that, which I
Mm.
think will definitely happen with time.
Okay. So, uh, one before the last question, final question. Any advices and tips that you would like to actually share for anyone who's interested into, joining this industry?
This question makes me sound so old. Okay, I think just be yourself, just do what you would like to do. And if you just stick with it, I mean, stick with the industry if you think that it is what you want to do. I mean, there has been times where I also have, questioned my own existence in this industry with regards to, with with regards to doing other stuff like, branching out to creatives or, brand management and events and stuff like that. So just find your own footing, find what you like, and if you really like it, stick with it. I think it's as simple as that.
Okay. Because I asked that question, it's a everlasting question. It will not die because
Exactly.
people people are actually they are really interested. Some people are really interested. So I think your answer might have given them sort of perspective that they would actually apply whenever they want to join the industry. So the final question, name three books that had inspired you to achieve whatever you have achieved at present, along with their authors names.
Okay, so to be very frank, I think I think quite a few people know that I am a very avid reader.
Yes, you
But
are.
unfortunately, I have never read self-help books, right?
Okay, all right.
Always into fiction. I rarely read self-help books. The only book which reads about self-help and about self-realization and self-actualization, which I have read, is actually written by His Highness Maharaka Abhayataranankala Thero.
Mm,
It's called Sangavunu Buddhumaka Kalailidaki. And I think that is the book which kind of gave me a gist of what Buddhism is all about,
mm,
and me getting comfortable with the philosophy and then taking learnings from that. So I think definitely if I have to name a book which definitely changed my life, it would be that. But apart from that, I think there are two fiction books which I would say it really inspired me to do anything. But I really liked, given that they are all from local authors, I was very interested in the way how they have looked at simple things in life, and how they have explained how they have found magic out of the most mundane things in life. I think one is called Stories by Charulata Abesekara. Charulata Abesekara is actually Tissa Abesekara's daughter.
mm.
So that's one thing which I have liked in English. And I think in Sinhala, one of my favorites, which I have read in the recent times, I think within the last 10 years or so, would definitely be Vilasini Preme by Professor Edrivira Saraschandra. I
Okay.
really like the way that, how he has how he has expressed about the purest form of love, which
Mm,
is just about giving and not trying to own what you are trying to love. I think it's there to a little bit in his other books as well, like Malunge Aurulda and stuff like that. But I think the way he has explained in this book, it really hit me. So if you want to name me to name three books, those would be the three.
okay. Thank you very much. So with that, actually, we have come to the end of the show.
I unfortunately have not read Seven Habits of Highly Effective People or anything.
So nice one. We have come to the end of this episode. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I also have learned a lot from you. Thank you very much again, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and I'll
Thank you, brother.
I'll
See
see
you.
you in another episode. I want to do another episode with you, so I'll do another one. Thank you very
Sure.
much.
Okay, see you then. Bye.